We are back with round 4 of the Euroleague playoffs. Real Madrid just got done sweeping Baskonia, and so they're waiting to see who they're going to play between this matchup of Barcelona versus Olympiacos. They were back in Greece for the second game in a row in this series, and again the energy was electric. Barcelona found a way to steal game 3, and you could tell by the way Olympiacos came out that they were not going to have the same result in game 4. Late in the first quarter, McKissick made this great hustle play to get this 50-50 ball and kicked it out for a rhythm catch-and-shoot 3 by Isaiah Cannon, and this put them within 2 points, and they never looked back after that. Off of this nice shallow cut, Nigel Williams-Goss finds his shooter, and off of a great shot fake, he buries this 3. But Jabari Parker was trying to do his part to keep this game close, and he buries this 3 in transition to cut it back to 10. But by the midway point in the second quarter, this is when things started to get ugly. Flip gets straight downhill for this easy dunk, and then off of this long rebound from the tough 3-pointer out of the ball screen, Shaq McKissick gets the rebound, pushes it coast to coast, and goes and finishes it. It just felt like one of those games where everything went right for the home team, but here was Jabari Parker doing his best to try and keep this thing close with this tough ISO 3 at the end of the second quarter. But early in the third, Nigel Williams-Goss says anything you can do, I can do better, and hits the same shot against Vesely. And then Papanikolaou said, I want in on some of this action too. He hits this tough 3 off of the behind the back dribble, and then a few possessions later, he comes off of this flare, jabs, and hits another one. And then they just decided to add insult to injury. You've got Goss hitting step back 3s while they're up by 30, and they just ran away with this game. I would anticipate Game 5 back in Barcelona being a crazy ending to this great series. Now we'll head over to the matchup between number 2 seed Panathinaikos versus number 7 Makabi. They're both coming off of an emotional game in Game 3 where Josh Nebo had a phenomenal game and Kendrick Nunn missed a go-ahead 3 at the buzzer to win. So going into Game 4, the ultimate question was, did Makabi have what it takes to win 2 in a row and close this series out at home? Early in the first quarter, Baldwin came off of this ball screen. It seemed like there was confusion, and he got straight downhill for the dunk. And then a few possessions later, you had this kick back to Kendrick Nunn who shot it from the parking lot and knocked down a 3. And then a few minutes later, they ran this really nice action that decoyed a pass into Lesort that led to this nice backdoor for a dunk. Panathinaikos had a really nice game plan coming into Game 4 because their ball movement was great and they looked like they knew how they wanted to take advantage of this Maccabi defense. They really did play a great team game, but Kendrick Nunn stepped up in Game 4 after missing that game winner and came out with 27 points in this game and a tough 3 at the end of the second quarter. So now as we pick up early in the fourth, off of this mid-range jump shot, Josh Nebo goes up in a crowd and gets this putback slam that makes it a 1-point game. But like I said earlier, Kendrick Nunn was a man on a mission in Game 4. Off this catch, he drives to his right and puts on the E-brake. His defender goes down and he hits this tough mid-range jumper. But then a few possessions later, Lorenzo Brown, who has been consistent throughout this entire series, gets downhill off this ball screen and he puts them back up by 3. But that gives Kendrick Nunn an opportunity to respond. They tried to run this Spanish screen and it didn't work, so he comes off of another ball screen from Lesort and hits this tough mid-range. So with a minute left, they ran the same play again off of this ram action. Nobody was open, so Slukas knocks down another mid-range from the same spot to put him up by 5. And then with 1 possession left, Makabi goes to try and get a steal. They end up giving up this wide open dunk to Lesort, and this series will be going to a Game 5 as well. And now for our last series, number 3 Monaco versus number 6 Fenerbahce, and the pressure was on the home team just like with Makabi. Could Fenerbahce finish this series at home by winning 2 in a row? Well, this game ended up being one of the slower games in the entire playoffs. It was low scoring, and the majority of the game was played through the post. Now, if you've been watching these playoffs, pretty much all 8 teams have played some of their offense through post action, but both teams consistently throughout the entire first half threw the ball into the post, and there was a lot of scoring that took place right in a one-on-one situation around the paint. But then Scottie Wilbekin came off of this ball screen, danced a little bit on his defender, and hit this three, but then a few possessions later, the ball went right back into the post to Nigel Hayes-Davis, who rips baseline and scores a layup. It really was unique to see that this strategy was run by both teams, because we're still in the first quarter, and all of these post-ups have taken place from guards and forwards all in the first 10 minutes of this game. But then sure enough, late in the second quarter, you're going to see this Spanish screen where Nick Calathis comes off the ball screen, and then you're going to see the shooter come up and set a back screen on the X5 and pop, and everybody forgets about the big who's rolling to the rim, who ends up getting this nice easy dunk. Picking up in the fourth quarter, coming off of this twirl action, Akobo, who was the leading scorer for Monaco, gets the handoff, gets downhill, and he's going to hit this tough mid-range jump shot that's going to put them up by 2. And then you have this crazy sequence where Akobo turns it over, it looks like Fenerbahce is going to take the lead, and then Hall comes with the chase down block, and they manage to keep the ball inbounds, so now they have possession and the lead with about 90 seconds left. So a few possessions later, Scottie Wilbekin makes a great decision to kick this ball back for an open 3 to put it within 1, and now they have to find a way to foul and get the ball back. They end up not being able to get to him quick enough. Game over. This series is going to 5 as well. You couldn't ask for a better playoffs and road to the Final Four. Make sure you tune in for these last 3 series in Game 5. Thanks for coming through. We'll see you next time in the film room.